Well,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. Thank you for watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
I was attacked before this show started.
Were you?
You smacked my hand.
I did not smack your
You
hand.
assaulted me.
I grabbed you.
You assaulted me.
No, that'd be like this.
Which is how you assaulted me all the time.
Whatever.
Hi.
I did not assault him.
We've got stuff to talk about and things to complain about and
Oh my
sadness
gosh.
to report.
Well, welcome. First of all, welcome. Make sure you go like, share, subscribe, tell everyone you know. Go tell people. Go tell it on the mountain.
And before we start talking about the movies today and get into the ramblings of our nonsense,
Wow.
I want to talk about a lot of people dying lately.
Oh gosh.
I know it happens all the time, but I mean, there've been a lot of genre stuff. I mean, I could go into a bunch of the comic book people too, but you know, the comedian Gallagher died recently.
That was sad.
Except for our one bud friend who posted like good riddance, and then he posted an art. I was like, do you have beef? And he posted an article, I guess, of whatever happened.
What would he do?
I didn't ever read the whole article, but I know there was some stuff at some point, but I don't get that connected with celebrities to worry about all their problems and everything. And then, of course, Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of Batman for Batman the Animated Series.
Now that was sad.
That is sad. And then I forgot to pull it up. I don't remember her name, and I apologize. Let me pull it up because I don't want to say it. It's rude to not know somebody's name if you're talking about them dying. She kind of got lost in the mix. The young lady named... Where's it at? I just lost it. Believe it's Nikki Acox from Jeepers Creepers 2.
Jeepers Creepers. You know I'm going to sing it if it comes on. Sorry.
Make sure she's doing that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was her.
Born.
Yeah.
Right here.
22. Yeah. She died,
That's
but
too
hers
bad.
kind of got lost in the mix because it woke up today to the news that the longest running Power Ranger, most popular Power Ranger in the entire franchise, Jason David Frank, aka Tommy Oliver, has passed away as well. So there's stuff all over the world, all the things about him. Everybody's losing their mind and crying and upset. And
I'm not as into that.
I know you weren't ever big into Power. My whole thing was
that's just sad though.
I liked Power Rangers. I was a fan when it started. And I still watch it from time to time. I think it's entertaining. You know, and I shared that with my kids and whatnot. But I was also a bigger follower of his. He was my favorite as well because he was a real martial artist.
Yes.
Like some of the other ones were real martial artists, but some of them were just gymnasts. Some of them were just dancers and whatever. And they could do the stuff. He was a real martial artist, and I kind of followed him outside of Power Rangers. You know, he didn't do a ton of stuff, but he even put out a martial arts training video at one point that was a Power Ranger training video. So it was like Tommy was teaching you martial arts stuff. I was already well into martial arts by that point.
Yeah.
But he also trained with Master Toddy.
Oh.
Which is he's one of the reasons I found Master Toddy. Because when we were going to go in Thailand, I was researching it. Him and Gina Carano were the two people I knew training. So we connected on that at a convention. I got to talk to him a couple of times, and I interviewed him one time. And it was supposed to be like a 10-minute interview. We talked for like 45 minutes about martial arts and all kinds of stuff. And
that's
so
cool.
He's passed away. So, you know,
that's sad.
Sad day for Power Ranger fans and people in general. So condolences to his family and to all the others too. It's been pretty sad ending the year, you know, all this craziness.
Yeah. Well, and holiday times are the worst times when these things happen.
And these ones that are like iconic for the genre thing. It's like you know, anytime somebody dies, like Gallagher and Nikki Acox dying, they're actors and comedians, and that's a big thing. But these voice of Power Rangers and Batman, and these are like generation voices.
Like the Batman thing was so sad because I've always told you, even when there's another Batman,
live
it's like
ones?
That's not the guy, that's not the voice.
Yeah.
It's wrong to me. Just because I grew up watching the animated series, and to me, that is Batman.
Yeah. Well, and that's what most people think. Most people look to Kevin Conroy as that is Batman.
That is Batman.
I will say, I don't think you ever got to see it, so you may have to go watch at least just the episode, though. He did, if you don't know this, during the Infinite Crisis crossover for the Arrow universe, Kevin Conroy did get to play live action Bruce Wayne.
I didn't see that.
It was kind of in the Batman Beyond-esque era. He's like in an exosuit, so he's not in this Batman suit. He's in like an exosuit because he's been battered and broken, but it was Kevin Conroy.
That's so cool.
So he finally got to play Batman in person as well. Anyway, so let's just want to get all that point out there.
Enough sadness. Let's shake it off now.
Yeah, let's move into other stuff because we have some anger stuff to talk about, and then
I'm so angry.
Do you want to talk about that first, or do you?
Yeah, I need to get it. First of all, I think my whole afternoon was jacked up, not on purpose, but in my mind, I was like, "We're gonna go out to eat. We're gonna go watch a movie.
Let me set the tone for everybody.
We're gonna have a fun time." And then that didn't
normally
happen.
on Sundays, she goes to church. I'm home working, and then I go teach Muay Thai. She comes home and she does her work and stuff. Then we meet back for a little while, and then we come and do the show. That's our standard Sunday.
Typically, yeah.
And then after the show, we have dinner, we watch TV, and then she goes to bed. I go to work. It's all the same kind of stuff. That's kind of our routine, right? Yeah. So today, I ended up not having class. So throughout the weekend, we've been trying to go see this movie, The Menu. It just came out. We've been really excited to see it. We both kind of got tired on Friday, and then it became me because when you finally come around and want to go do it, I was like, I don't want to do nothing. And then she was gone doing family stuff most of the day yesterday. So by the time she got home, it was kind of late, and we've become old people and don't want to go out at night.
I just don't want to. I'm going to be honest with. I'm agreeing with you now that going to the theater in the evenings when there's all these teenagers running around and people with their kids and all, it's too much.
It's just annoying now.
So now if we go to a movie, it's like I want to go like at 3 or 4.
Well, and it was the COVID, the pandemic shutdown kind of put me in that mindset because I never was really bothered about going to movies. I wanted to see.
But we got so happy during COVID going, and there was like us and like 2 other people.
But I also, we built the theater room at home. We designed everything at our house to never need to leave, and so now I got used to I enjoyed just watching the stuff here.
Yeah.
Like even when I go to press screenings and stuff like that, I go because, and don't get me wrong, I love seeing the movies early. I still love the experience of the big screen, but it's all the effort to drive there, the people you deal with, the prices you pay for concessions. It's all the things that compound that I'm just over.
I agree.
So today, since I didn't have class, we were like, hey, we have time to go see The Menu before the show.
Yeah.
And so AMC had started a while back. I know other things probably haven't. They actually have a closed caption. As you know, if you ever watch the show, I'm partially deaf now. So we were going to see the first movie we were going to go see with the closed caption thing.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to see one of
those. The special devices.
I've been wanting to see one of these because they have these showings often, I think, in the afternoon.
Yeah, so I went on our AMC Stubs app.
How?
And I booked both of our tickets, sold the tickets, everything was good.
We thought.
So we thought. Went to the theater.
They scanned us in.
Checked our IDs, theater two, whatever. She got her snacks. I went and sat down. As I kind of thought, we were the only people in the theater, or I was the only person in the theater went there because it was in one of the super small theaters. They also had other showings, so I didn't think it was that big a deal. So I sat down. I'm chilling. Well, these people come in. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They come in and they're all kind of eyeballing me, like kind of snooty looking. I'm just like, you don't know me. So I just kind of stared back and then did my thing. It was showing trailers at this point. So they sat down. I think a couple of them left, went out. You came in with the snacks. She sat down next to me. I told her, these people eyeballing me for some reason. She bucked all up. Who? It's like, there's 4 other people. Who do you think?
And then this other couple came in and sat down in our row.
Yeah, so we're all chilling. We're just whatever.
Okay,
let's wait for the movie to start. And then 2 people from the theater come into us and start asking to see our tickets. And we're like,
okay.
All right, well, here, we have tickets. They looked at our tickets. Then they're like, oh, this theater has been rented out for a private thing. You're going to have to leave. And we're like, but we have tickets.
I'm like, I bought a ticket.
How is this a private event if we were able to buy tickets on our Stubs thing? And they're like, I'm sorry, you have to go to customer service.
But then did you hear? You didn't hear. You didn't even understand what was happening.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of got it figured what was happening, but I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, tickets. And she's like, oh, no, don't you see here? I'm like, no, I don't see here. How am I supposed to know? And then she's like, and there's not another showing at this time, so we'll have to just refund you. Like, not even an option.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get to hear all that part.
Do you want to see something else?
They didn't ask us that until we went out to the lobby.
Correct. The person, that lady did. Yeah. But then, typically when those things happen, they give you free passes.
Yeah, they didn't offer us anything.
No passes, nothing.
So I threw out there, I'm like, we need to get our refund on these concessions, too, because we wouldn't have bought this if we weren't here.
Yeah, and that to me ruined, like, I have my dumb popcorn here, my $8 popcorn that's this big. But
well, it was a kids pack, so it had.
But still,
yeah,
the whole experience of eating the popcorn at the theater, like now, it's like I don't even really want it.
I would have got mad if I'd gotten my water cup.
I know, because then you'd be walking around with water
That's
cups.
right.
It's just like,
So yeah, so they basically just kind of put it back to our stubs and
gave me my
gave
$8
the
popcorn back.
$8 or $9 back for her kids pack, and,
But-
and then she just walked away. Like, did you notice
Yeah.
that when she credited you stuff?
Mhm.
She goes, "Here's your credit," and just walked. Like the other guy was at least like, "Do you want to see anything else?" And I'm sorry. You know, he at least acted like he cared.
Mm-mm.
And he kind of did the same thing to the other people. They were kind of like,
Yep.
I looked at him. I was like, "I'm assuming you were trying to see the menu too." They're like, "Yeah," and I don't think this is the case, but
I noticed.
we did find it convenient that the two couples that were asked to leave were the Hispanic lady with the white guy and a white lady with an African American gentleman, and the people that had rented the theater out were all white people.
Your people put us out this time.
So we decided it was a group of Karens. It's one of those things that
Karens won.
Here's my issue wasn't even that was the scenario, because I could see those people being upset that they rented out the theater.
But there were 5 of them.
Yeah, there was 5 in a fully empty theater. But at the same time, they rented out the theater, it sounds like. So, okay, I can get their issue. My issue was like there was no options for, hey, you know, like you said, she didn't initially offer us another screening. There was no offer of any kind of passes. It wasn't even an offer to talk to these people and say, look, we mistakenly sold them tickets. Would you mind if they stay?
Yeah, because it was just 4 people.
Because if those people said we'd prefer they didn't, I would be okay with that because they paid
but they
for
didn't
that.
even but obviously they went and complained that you were there.
Yeah. So that's why they probably didn't even ask them. And instead of asking me, which I would have been like, excuse me, you know, we rented out the theater, I'd have been like, wait, what? I have a ticket. Let me find out. I mean, at the same time, I know they probably don't know me. I probably looked like I was going to murder somebody. So anyway, so we decided promptly. I'm actually in a correspondence via Twitter with AMC. Let's see if they've responded. And I'll do it live on the show here. But we
was over them.
Yeah, I've had the AMC stub since 2011. We have the premiere, whatever one that you pay for now. On the way home, she's like, I'd say we cancel it, move on for these people.
I'm over it.
And we did officially cancel our stubs. Hold on, they're asking me for something. Provide a order number or email.
Well, don't do it right now.
Well, I'm going to do it while we're talking.
Wow. Anyway, so we canceled our stubs.
So we end up canceling our stubs accounts. We're going to probably move over to Alamo because we also realized we don't go to the movies as often as we did. Pre-COVID, we were going 3, sometimes 5 times a week.
3 times a week.
You know.
Like during the week at a screener and then at least Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, because it always kickstart back on
Sunday.
Sunday to Friday?
Sunday. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Mm-hmm. So then immediately we'd watch other stuff. We don't go to the theater outside of our screenings.
But even so, with the Alamo, it's like the same price, but you could see one movie every single day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
For $20 a month. So, anyways, that's what's happening. And I know if I go to Alamo, I'm going to get some nachos and a caramel shake. It makes me happy.
True. You have your things that we always
have my things. Okay. So, all
right, moving on. Now let's talk about why you're actually here.
And then my mom called in the middle of my afternoon nap.
Oh, that was the whole.
And then
that was the other thing is I'd woke her up from her nap for us to go. So then she was all pissy.
And then my mom called again, and she didn't have all the info. I'll call you back. And then she called again. Then she had to call again. So that was happening. Which fine, you know what? I can handle that. It's just during my naps. And so then I was grumpy.
The other big problem is if you've never dealt with her when she's grumpy about anything.
It's all day long now.
Yeah, then it becomes a whole ordeal.
So it's like I kind of want enchiladas, but we went to the grocery store and bought food, so that's not happening. So then I'm just really grumpy about that. Anyways, okay, let's talk about movies. Lord have mercy. I apologize. We have wasted 14 minutes on our sad stories. All right, baby. I'm just going to throw some stuff up there and you tell me what happened. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Babe, I need you to participate.
I am participating. I'm doing just like you do every time you look up crap and I tell you don't do that.
All right, here we go. Tell me about this.
What is this one?
This is the movie 3,000 Years of Longing. We're talking about it late from the theater release, but I believe it comes out on the Blu-ray and DVD this week. So we're on time for that. And this is the movie with Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. This is the one where she finds a lamp. Well, I'll call it a lamp. It's a jar. And a genie comes out, or a djinn, as he's called in this one. And of course, it's your typical story of you get 3 wishes, and you can't wish for more wishes. But I really liked this movie. You're not paying attention.
I am paying
okay.
attention.
I really like this movie because it totally brings up something that I think we all know, that when you make a wish, bad consequences always follow.
Yeah.
So
nothing, there's no free anything, no matter what.
I don't remember what movie it was, but the guy wished for like tons of money, but the genie robbed a bank, and then they came and arrested him.
It's always some kind of a back end loophole, and they always say, you got to be careful how you wish it and what you say, and make sure it's very specific. Because if you don't, you could end up with like one big foot and one small foot, or some stupid thing.
Like I would have to be like, I would like a house, but it needs to be this big, this, and fully paid for, and it's not been stolen. And
no matter what you do, there'll be something that finds.
And I'm not going to get in trouble. Yeah, so that wouldn't happen. So that's the whole point of the movie. She's like, I'm not going to make 3 wishes because I know it's going to end badly.
And the other side of it is what's interesting about the movie. If you don't know, the movie is also directed by George Miller, who is the creator / writer / director for the Mad Max films. So this is one of those other kind of original stories for himself. And it's interesting though, so the movie isn't just about her wishes and the genie. It's really about the history of the genie himself. It's about
the genie, which I found intriguing.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting take of gotten rid of the greed and this and that of the normal, the 3 wishes and the genie stuff that's been done to death. This is him they're having a conversation like 2 lonely people. And he's telling her his story and why it's so important that she needs to make these wishes, and why he's been stuck in this bottle, and why this has happened, and that's happened.
That's the 3,000 years is his story.
Yeah,
and so it was really interesting to hear his side of the story.
Yeah. It's a weird movie.
It is weird. It's little,
but it's really actually a story about loneliness and purpose and kind of acceptance and. Finding your place in the world, for both of them. Because she's fairly well known. I forgot what she is. She's an author or a scientist or something like that. I don't remember. But she's awkward and weird and doesn't really connect with people very well. And it's interesting because they're connecting because they're both awkward in their own weird worlds.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole point is he, throughout the revelation of his story, we see like his sadness and stuff, and it makes her realize that she's actually created a very isolated life with walls, and he makes her realize like, oh, maybe I am lonely, or maybe there is more. Like she wasn't willing to accept or what's the word? I don't know, just be aware that there was something more.
I apologize. I didn't even turn on the thing on my side, and I didn't even finish sharing it. I just got to talking.
That's okay.
Anyway,
it'll still be there. But I thought it was a really good movie. It was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. It was a lot more emotional. And one part it got me kind of sad there, and I was like, that's kind of sad.
And I want to give big props too, because I thought it was very clever visually. Like when they didn't do the typical. There's a little bit of it, but it's not the typical genie comes out of the lamp and smoke and. In this, but instead he's got this gigantic version of him in the room, and he keeps resizing, and things she says affects him in certain ways, and
how he learns.
Yeah, it was very clever. Just way they put it together.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. So it's a really good movie, and it does come out on the Blu-ray and DVD this week.
It's already out. It's is one available. Of those movies that I think it's one of those you'll either get it and like it, or you'll be like, that's too weird, or it's boring.
It's a little weird.
It's not an overly exciting film.
Guess what I'm going to say?
It's a talkie.
But it's actually interesting because I like, at least for me, it touches on some of the, I don't know.
It's kind of a weird love story.
It is, but I found it so intriguing because it takes us through these time periods, these major epics of history, and even some biblical times, some war times, a little more modern. Like it takes us through that. I thought it was really clever.
It was. It was a lot more than what I thought. Like I like totally. George Miller, so I was excited for the movie anyway. And I like Idris Elba.
I like Miss Idris Elba.
And I like Tilda Swinton. She's a great actress. She just a lot of times she's in weird stuff.
She's a little weird, but it was a good weird in this.
Yeah, she connected to that part perfectly. Yeah. And I think he's crafted a film it's familiar and original all at once, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I know there'll be other people like, oh, this is the same thing. I've seen it. It's genies, blah, 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 same thing. But you got to see the difference is what he's doing with it.
Still
and I thought it connected, despite being kind of fantastical, it connects on a very human level.
I agree.
Of the whole life. And even the way they end it is very much like, it's not a romantic movie like they're kissing and making love. It's romantic on a connection.
Yeah. It got me in the feel.
Did you cry at all?
I didn't, but I did feel the emotion of it. So it was really good. So
cool. But it is available on the Blu-ray and the DVD now.
All right. Now we're going to something completely random.
Okay,
But
I was not part of this.
I did watch this movie. So I want to talk about it. It's the new Blues Clues movie on Nickelodeon, Blues Big City Adventure.
Can you tell us why you decided you needed to watch this film?
Well, the grandchild was here.
Blame child.
Yes. And so, Lord have mercy, we watched this Blues Big City Adventure because actually, you know what? I was like, we want to watch Blues Clues because what happened is I'm tired of Peppa Pig.
Did she even ask for it this time?
No, she did not ask for Peppa Pig.
I didn't hear the word Peppa at all. I heard Bluey. And
she loves Bluey, which is good because I love Bluey and Bingo too.
She liked Bubble Guppies.
I love Bubble Guppies.
We all know.
I have a board game. I have all the stuff. I mean,
although she did ask for Baby Shark a lot.
We ended up singing.
We held it off. I'm going to give my granddaughter props. She's 2, and we held off Baby Shark until we were driving her back home, and played the song once in the car. I expected her to just kind of. That fool knows the entire dance routine to that song.
She does.
So big props to her.
She was doing all the stuff.
I can tolerate some of that stuff.
And she's doing the runaway.
She put the effort in to learn the choreography, so I can deal with that.
She's doing the whole thing. Okay,
go ahead.
So Blues Clues.
Now this isn't the original guy. This is the new guy, right?
He's on the current show.
Is he the one that's doing the current show? Okay.
Yeah. So this is Josh and Blue, and they head to New York because Josh has an audition to be in the show.
In what show?
Some Broadway musical.
It's not okay.
With a Rainbow Dog because he's with a blue dog, so there's a Rainbow Dog. Doesn't matter.
I got you.
So the whole point of Blues Clues is you have to get 3 clues to figure out the mystery or the story or whatever you're looking for in the episode. So to me, this felt like just a really long episode. It started off really strong. It was really creative, really interesting. And the baby was really into it.
Is that all in their little house and stuff?
The first part where they start, but even in the city, all the inanimate object, what is the animal frick or whatever, they come to life. So
they come alive just because they're. Do they explain why they come alive? Or do they come alive just because Blue's there?
I think because Blue's there and because Josh knows and Josh is aware of it. So So at one point he's in the city. He's like, "Salt shaker, help me!" But it's an actual legit salt shaker. And he's like, "Trash can, help me!" Do you see a clue? No. And then at one point one of them does. So you got to use your imagination.
So let me ask you this. I know this is. We're not going to go this deep into this movie, but how well? And I know this is a children's movie, so you got to let some of that go, but. How well does the animation and the live action mesh? Or is it so cartoony separation that it doesn't really, but it doesn't matter because of what they're doing?
I think it meshes fairly well for if it's a child's mind watching it. I think there's certain points where I could see like it was overlaid. I could tell.
You might not know, but it was all over.
But I know, but sometimes you can see it. It doesn't mesh well. I think in general, the movie overall is good. The first part's really good and strong. After about 45 minutes, it kind of fades and it gets too talky. So I fast forwarded it till we get to more singing and dancing. And then the baby was back in for the ending. And I was too. Because I wanted to see if we solved Blues Clues this time. It's okay. I think if you have a child around the age that's into it, it starts strong and ends strong in the middle. Yeah, you may need to.
Is this a Paramount Plus thing?
Yeah, I saw it on Paramount Plus.
Okay. So I have to ask one other thing before we move on.
I'll share a link.
Is this guy annoying? He looks annoying.
Josh is overly happy and excitable.
I think everybody on Blues Clues is overly happy.
But for a child, she was into it.
Okay.
So
that's all that matters.
That's good. I'm glad she was here. Well, first of all, I would never watch this without her.
Yeah, she would.
But I'm glad she
You
was
do
here
realize-
to actually
you do
get a
realize-
child
Oh,
reaction.
you do realize you're trying to convince people you would never watch this after screaming your love of Bubble Guppies.
Oh my gosh! And then
She watched Bubble Guppies by herself. Don't let her fool you.
Did you notice the other day we watched Bubble Guppies? I'm singing the whole song, and the baby kind of looked
And
at
even
me.
the baby gave her a weird look.
I'm like, Bubble Guppies, Bubble Guppy, and she kind of looked at me. I was like, okay, then. I love Bubble Guppies. So, anyways.
She
But-
discovered Bubble Guppies and was watching Bubble Guppies before that child was born. So she
Correct.
can't even use that as an excuse.
The kids didn't even live with us anymore.
Yeah.
No.
This was a grown person.
Yes.
I'd
just
come
thought it
in
was
and
the
she goes,
cutest thing.
it's time for lunch. It's time for lunch, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's right.
that
It's
right?
lunchtime.
Okay. Yeah.
I love it. Anyways, I do have her now watching. She wasn't into the regular Dora, but now we're watching Dora and Friends, and she does like that one.
My son says she also likes Teen Titans and stuff
That
like
seems
that.
a little violent.
No.
Is it not violent? Is that the cartoon
No,
one?
yeah, it's a cartoon.
Okay.
Not Titans. Not no. not
Okay,
that
I'm just
show.
making sure.
That's
Well,
that's
I'm
an
doing
adult show.
Dora because I'm trying to get her to Spanish, and we
I
need to
get it.
make sure we're both together on the Spanish words.
Sí.
Muy buen.
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
Me llamo Bobby.
Sí. Hola, Bobby.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Bobby.
Hola, Bobby.
Hola. Drusilla
Thank you.
or Drusilla?
No, what now?
No, there's two L's.
You had it right the
Yeah.
first time. But
Drusilla.
la. Anyway, she does
Yeah.
understand. She understands Ben when I tell her, come on.
La Llorona.
She understands no, and she understands I'm going to give you pow pow if you don't behave. Because I've done that.
Okay, we're not going
And
into
then
the
I've
world
told
of
her
raising our granddaughter.
about going to make mimis. So,
Making what?
making mimis.
What is that? Oh.
Go see peace. All right, that's a
Hey,
kukui.
what
The
is this
kukui
dog
comes to
doing
get
back here
you.
behind me.
Um,
She's just staring at the other dog.
Yeah, she is asleep snoring, and Vader's standing there. All right, we're going on to the next movie. These are in the most weirdest order of films.
The most weirdest order, was that English?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have been so excited to watch this
We're
movie.
kind of late to the party for this one.
It finally came out on the line.
Yes.
Where did we watch this?
I'll
find out.
HBO or Paramount?
I'll find out right now. Sorry, friends.
Or
I didn't.
Peacock.
I did not have my ducks in a row on this one. Smile is on Paramount Plus.
Okay. And the review, we do have a review for it on our site, which is written by one of our correspondent reviewers, Michael Fraley, who saw it in the theater. So the
thank
review
you.
that she shares will be from him, not from us ourselves. So we're going to give you our opinions of the film.
I've been
So-
waiting forever.
So what is this movie about?
So
It's about a dentist.
it's about a dentist.
Is
who
this a
likes
remake of
teeth.
Dr. Giggles?
It might be.
Yes.
It's a horror film,
I know you wanna wait
and
for the
it's
feedback.
about
You can come to your side.
a girl who shows up at a psychiatric hospital. She says this thing's been following her around, and the people smile at her. And this person, I guess, killed themselves. She witnessed it, and then she goes cray cray, and she gets the creepy smile. And she kills herself, and then this lady starts seeing the creepy smile. So you kind of figure out it's like a chain, like it's passing from person to person, and then the investigation into the mysterious begins. Okay, go, babe. Stop reading
Hold
that.
on, no, I have information.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, we've canceled our stubs, and they can't tell that. But they did add 15,000 points to both of our accounts, which
Wow.
equals up to $15 each.
Well, no,
But
I don't care now.
now I want to see if it actually pops up. Oh, wait, we can still use it because we can use it until it
It's
ends.
still good until the end
So
of the
let's
month.
look. While we're online, this is part of the show, dear.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous, my friends. Okay, yeah, I now have 22,000 points. So, oh, and I have a reward. Oh, I have.
Oh,
Wait, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rewards.
I only have 3 rewards, but you probably had one already earned.
Oh my gosh! Then why did I spend $8 on popcorn?
Because
I'm
you're
dumb.
dumb.
Okay, well we're gonna go and we're gonna buy up
I'm
all
going
the
to activate
popcorn.
all of my rewards right now while I'm thinking about it.
Activate.
And we'll be using these.
Activate. I
So
want some nachos.
we canceled our Stubbs account, but it's good until December 1st from what I paid.
Well, we are going every
and
day.
we're going to use it. So
So boom, boom, boom.
They don't know I
I'm gonna go
canceled
buy
apparently,
me some
so-
nachos and a
So I just say
pizza.
thank you for your
Yes,
assistance.
thank you so much. We appreciate because it's not her fault. It's actually that girl was kind of rude. She was just to we're sitting in the dark first of all, and I feel like they had the light on us, like show me your ticket, hey. And so She's like, well, there's not another showing, so we'll have to refund you. Please come with me. Okay, anyways, we're talking about the movie Smile.
Yes, sorry.
Tell me.
I actually really dug it.
And what happened?
There are nothing happened. I'm trying to think. I really dug it. There are some elements that I felt. So it's technically. There's a movie called It Follows.
That's what I was gonna say. It's that movie where
it feels like it's basically that same movie, but this time it's through that smile instead of sexually transmitted disease.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't hurt the movie. The movie is good. I enjoyed it. It's creepy. There's some great visuals. It is an interesting story, and it moves pretty quick.
Yeah.
But because of that element, it didn't feel as fresh as I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, that can be said for almost anything. Honestly, this doesn't mean to be a jab at the movie, and not even saying I think they stole the idea. I'm not saying that at all. It's just one of those things that I feel like I've seen this. You know what I mean? So it didn't make it a bad movie. I still thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great. But it did make it not feel the excitement that I had for it when I went in.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So it falls in the lines of all these kind of other movies where things pass from person to person. Which there are many of those.
Yeah.
You know, they were saying Demon Within, Sinister, Fallen, Empty Man, like it passes from person to person. But what I did enjoy about this is, how did they find these people with these creepy smiles?
I know the smiles they were pulling off, if they were in fact their normal smiles and they didn't do any enhancement to it. There's a couple of them I'm wondering if they did some CGI pull. But I don't know.
The other thing that I liked, which some people may find dumb, was the actual evil entity thing. Because I don't know if I don't want to spoil it, but you know, there's always an evil thing. And when you see
whatever
the
may or may not be behind things, yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool looking. Cool. I liked it. I liked that we were going in a weird direction. And I like at some point you kind of get a little insight into how it passes. That was cool. I was like, okay.
I also like
interesting.
It's what I do think is more a different level of creepy than It Follows is creepy from a standpoint because like a sexually transmitted disease will really stay with you forever.
It's like real life.
It follows you around. It
that
can easily be
life.
spread. But in this case, an entire vibe from somebody can come from just how they smile at you. Mm-hmm. Like I can smile at you, and you like I'm laughing, I'm joking. But if I put the brow down on like this, and I smile,
it becomes
creepy. Or if you're somebody just across the room, just kind of like, oh, you may do the hair smile.
No.
But the way you look, like the photo you have up now, that right there tells you there's something off.
Yeah.
And she's not doing anything. She's just smiling.
But it's the look in the eyes. Was such a great scene too. Yeah. What happens in this scene is like, what?
Yeah, and there's big props to all the actors that had to pull off certain moments because
so cool.
there's the thing that I think made it work for me more is there's moments of self-mutilation elements where like somebody cutting themselves. I don't mean like super gory stuff. It's not that gory of a movie.
It's not.
But moments of somebody cutting themselves. But when anybody does that in a movie and they do it with no reaction, emotion, I know they're not really cutting themselves, so it's not hard to.
But having to hold a smile must be
hold
even
that smile
harder.
Perfect still and not taking those eyes off somebody, just being like, that's always creepier to me.
Creepy.
You know, because let me tell you something creepy.
Oh Lord.
So when I was younger, many moons ago, you know, I had my martial arts training, but I was always really small, like growing up. Yeah. I was like 4'11" my freshman year of high school. So I was a little short fart.
And then I stayed that way.
I used to learn. I could fight already by then because I had been training, but I still was small, and everybody I had to deal with was bigger than me. So I developed a more of a psychotic persona in a situation that I had to do with them. So like, that's why you've seen me do something like, why are you grabbing something like that? Because now it's out of habit. Like if somebody points a knife at me, you know, whether being silly or whatever, like, haha, you know, I know you've seen me do it where I'll just grab a hold of the blade and take it away from them.
Yeah, it's not normal.
And you're like, why did you? And it's because I used to do stuff like that because I was trying to create this. I don't want to fight this very large person, even though I think I can take him. So if I created the establishment that's like, he doesn't care, then I see things like this and it makes you like, okay, that's like that's why that works.
Yeah.
Is you see somebody's lack of response to, I remember a kid holding a knife at me one time, and I grabbed it by the blade and I just took it out of his hand and I threw it down and it cut my hand. And he was more shocked about it than I was. He was like, dude, oh no, it's all right. It's all right. And I'm just like, and it creates that that vibe of like, you either know something I don't, or there's something wrong with you.
There is something wrong
and
with
either with who? Oh, yeah. That's true. I mean, I remember getting in a fight with somebody really big one time, and it was a football player in high school. And I'm like, I could take him, but if he gets a hold of me, I'm a dead person, because he was so massive and big. Yeah. And so I spun around, I smashed my head into a locker and dented it, because I used to break boards with my head. I smashed the locker. I'm like, come on. He's like, dude, you need to relax. Like the fight was over. We didn't even fight. He's like, dude, you need to calm down. And I'm like, And then we became friends, and I remember telling him later, he goes, dude, you were he goes, I thought you were going to be in a straitjacket sooner than later. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but yeah, it's those little mannerisms of things make it scary.
Yeah, that's what this, and I didn't think it was super scary. It was a little creepy. Not. And then, because I saw somebody, I don't know if it was one of our reviews or somewhere, but they were like, ooh, so scary. And I was like, this wasn't really scary.
There's a problem too with,
we're desensitized.
I am insanely. I'm majorly desensitized to horror.
You have no more feelings.
Like I can watch anything. Nothing offends me. Nothing bothers me. Nothing. I can see. I have enough sense to say this is going to offend somebody, but nothing offends me. And because I believe in everybody's artistic expression and the right that they should be able to make whatever they want. If I don't like it, I just move on.
Yeah.
But there's that mentality of what's scary and what's not, which is subjective, just like what's funny and what's not.
Totally.
But there's been a weird world shift where there's too many people that are saying this is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, and I'm like, I've yet to see one of the movies when somebody says this is a terrifying movie that I can even look at it from my perspective and say, I can see how people would be terrified of this. I can see how this movie might creep some people out.
It's creepy.
I can see some movies, like Paranormal Activity was one of them that came out, and everybody's talking about how terrifying it was.
It was scary to me.
I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love that franchise. I remember seeing it in the theater weeks after it was blown up, and everybody's that most terrifying. They were even showing the people reacting in the theater. Yeah. I saw it by myself, and I came out of it like, huh. That was a great movie, but I'm not sure what they were scared of.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about perspective like you, who believes in ghosts and
stuff.
That's so you have a different connection.
Like all of the stuff from what's the series? The Conjuring and all that. Yeah. That's what I find scary. But because I believe demonic possession's real.
But see, like those movies, I can see people being scared of them.
Those I think
because
are
the way
scary.
They're crafted.
Yeah, they're very well crafted. But somebody mentioned something scary, like from Amityville or something, like the original. I'm like, for the time period,
then, yes. Now, not so much.
Not
unless you buy into the possession and the demonic stuff.
Or like when I was little, I was so afraid of Children of the Corn. Now it's Malachi is not even a scary. Like I think I could take Malachi.
See, I've never understood the fear of The Exorcist.
See, that was scary.
Like I was more afraid of when the Maytag man was on different strokes and was trying to molest him. Because that's some real crap, man.
But I think too, the other thing that heightened that sense of fear for me was I wasn't allowed. Like I was specifically told, don't watch Exorcist, don't watch Rosemary's Baby, don't watch. Like my parents specifically told me, don't watch that because the devil's in those movies.
I just think they don't want you to watch anything good.
Well,
because y'all watched nothing but like
Wonderful World of Disney
and the
every Sunday.
What was the other one? The Rock special, that the TV show, the TV movies that would the insurance Plymouth Rock. No, what was it?
Oh, Mutual of Omaha. Mutual of Omaha presents.
Yeah, there was like a mountain looking thing. Y'all watch that crap all the time.
We watched a lot of that in World of Disney.
Like my parents didn't let me watch scary stuff when I was a kid most of the time. I found it at friends. And
and I didn't go to the movies growing up. Well, I didn't go to the movies until I was like 30 years old and we got married.
No, you had gone before that with other people.
Very rarely.
You were able to go to concerts and crap.
But only because my brother was with me.
But why would they allow you to go to a concert and not to a movie? The
logistics
of that make no sense.
I don't know.
Because that's where they're doing the drugs. That's where mass amounts of people and people get killed.
Well, yeah,
but you can't go sit in a theater.
In college, we went to we went to go see Aerosmith, and it just smelled like pot.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
You're going to see a band from the 70s. What do you think it's going to smell like?
anyways.
Now you go to it, it smells like Geritol.
Wow. Anyways, okay, the movie Smile is out. It's available to watch.
I think we
And
went out on complete numerous
yeah,
tangents.
I don't think it's scary. I think it's creepy, and I have more feelings than he does.
But
So
it's a good
creepy.
movie. It is a good
It
movie.
is
I
good.
enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. The only thing I noticed is this girl needs to get her eyebrows done because they're little.
Well, then it wouldn't have the same effect.
I know.
She'd
If
look
she
like
had beautifully coiffed eyebrows,
Mm.
it wouldn't be as good. All right. Are you ready to tell me about these movies?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. We're entering the holiday season, my friends. So let's go here.
All right.
And then I'll get
So,
you there.
like a lot of people, except for this one, because I don't know what her problem is.
I have many problems.
I'm a huge fan of A Christmas Story. And Christmas Story is not just my favorite Christmas movie. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the movie. I've been watching it since it came out. I know it line for line, and I'm still entertained by it. I still laugh out loud watching it. I love everything about this movie. I don't know if it was because I was even a huge Peter Billingsley fan outside of this movie. He was Messy Marvin. He did a movie called The Dirt Bike Kid that I loved. Now he's a major producer, produces Iron Man. A lot of these stuff he directed. Couples Retreat.
Yeah,
he's
movie.
best friends with Vince Vaughn and John Favreau in that group.
Yeah.
So I've just been a fan of Peter Billingsley, but I love this movie. Through the years, there have been other sequels to this movie. There's a legitimately a Christmas Story 2. Obviously, it's a different cast because it's another Christmas with the same family, but it's all different people. And there's a movie called My Summer Story, which is, I believe, a book from the same Gene Shepard guy. And I believe Gene Shepard's the narrator of the films. I don't remember. Anyway, but My Summer Story is actually a good movie, but it's a completely different cast.
Yeah.
So it all, well, maybe the mom's in that one. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so when they finally said they were making another Christmas Story sequel, I was like, I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I love them, but I keep my expectations low.
Yes.
Then they announced that it was not only was it a new sequel, it was going to star most, if not all, of the original cast, including Peter Billingsley returning as Ralphie. And it was called A Christmas Story Christmas. It was going to be an HBO Max movie, which is both good and bad. Good because clearly the people that have passion, that have made careers off of this movie, were going to be back. Potentially bad because it's going straight to streaming. And why? Is it going to streaming because they don't think there's an audience, or are they going to streaming because they just wanted to make something simple and exclusive?
Yeah.
The only cast member that didn't come back, obviously you can't bring back Gavin, play the dad. He passed away. But Melinda Dillon, who played the mom, is very much still alive, but she's retired from acting, and they said they did approach her and she did not come back. So they did recast. So that's the kind of recasting.
But I'm glad they at least asked. That's the thing, when they don't even ask people. So rude.
Yeah, that's the kind of recasting I can accept. When somebody said, no, I'm not coming back, I'm done. So, but you have, I'm not going to, actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell you who shows back up. Because if you're going to experience it, I want you to experience it. Ralphie's the only one you know about. But there are numerous of the other ones growing up. The story is basically the same story in a lot different ways. This was Ralphie. He's living in, I think he's in New York now or somewhere like that. And it's him and his family. Him and his family, they're struggling to make ends meet. He's now a writer. And he's trying to sell his second novel to publishers or his first novel to publishers and whatnot. And he's waiting for that call. It's just like that. He's dreaming big, just like in the first movie with the Red Ryder BB gun, and waiting for his little orphan Annie pen, decoder pen, and all this stuff. It's kind of the same idea. But then tragedy happens and the dad dies.
Oh, no.
So he has to go back home with his family. And they're going to end up being there with the mom and spending Christmas at his hometown in the original house from the first movie. And madness ensues, as you would expect.
Of course.
I love this movie.
Was it really good?
It was really, really well
glad.
done. It did not just feel like a cash grab. It didn't feel like, hey, this is a cult hit, let's make another movie. That's what it is. But it felt like a true love letter to the original, all the way up until the ending of it, which I'm not going to spoil, on how it even connects even bigger to the original film in such a heartfelt way. None of the people that came back felt like it was just a cheap cameo for 5 seconds. There's only one or two of them that are like that, but there wasn't really anything else you could do with them that would make any sense. But most of them had time and scenes and moments. But it's really Ralphie's movie, just like the original. And I am going to tell you this: yes, Randy's there. He's not as much in it as much. Randy's his brother. That I can't put my arms down.
Mhm.
That kid. They recreate a lot of the same scenarios in different ways. Like this time, you have the kids are getting bullied, or his kids,
Mm.
and they're dealing with getting bullied by these other two random kids. And then they still have the Bumpuses next door and the Bumpus dogs, but this time you get to meet one of the little kids that's one of the Bumpuses, and you get a little dive into all that same
That's
stuff.
funny.
But it's you also there's a moment like the attic, and you get to see some stuff that's from the original movie. I
Funny.
won't spoil what it is, but it kind of takes you back. You're like, man, and you start feeling like this is really Ralphie grown up. This is really
Mhm.
Ralphie going back home. You really buy into it.
Yeah.
I find they serve as two perfect movies together.
Hmm.
Like the first one, then we jump ahead to the adult Ralphie, and instead of feeling like, there are elements that don't feel the same because that other movie is so unique in the way they shot it. It's a period piece because it takes place in like the 40s or 50s or whatever
In
it
the
is.
50s.
And this one takes place in the 70s, but it has a little more of a modern visual style to it. It's not,
Yeah.
it also didn't have some of that campy, like when somebody's on it, running away. It doesn't have all that, but it does have the Ralphie daydreaming stuff, the ridiculous daydreams, and even more so during the credits. There's this great side-by-side Photoshop pictures of all the scenes that they recreated that are identical scenes that connect to the new story. So like there's one with the mom and dad and the Christmas tree and their silhouettes looking outside, and this one's the mom and Ralphie and the silhouette, same exact thing.
That's cool.
The dad putting the star on the tree and Ralphie putting the star on the tree, and so it's really, the whole thing's really about Christmas, but Ralphie accepting his situation, but also the loss of his father, and how important it is to bring Christmas to what his dad always loved Christmas, and and then I think I really wish you would watch the new one because I think you would really
like
it,
the new one better,
and I think you'll cry.
Aww.
It's heartfelt, and I think you'd be like, oh my god, that is so sweet.
I don't really.
Why don't you like the original? I need to know. I need to know for our marriage to stay intact. I need to know why. What about the original do you not like?
I don't like the dad.
Dad is amazing. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with the dad?
I just don't like his personality.
How rude.
And I don't like how he treats his wife subserviently.
It's the 50s.
The 40s, actually. 40s. It's late 40s.
So that's
so I don't like that. I don't know. It never connected with me. I didn't get it. Because I don't know. I didn't get it. And yeah, sorry. And the little bully kids and all that, because I don't know. It's
because you were Scott Farkas.
Yeah, I was the bully.
You were the bully kid.
I was the bully kid.
And here's what's funny is I think it's your hostility because your dad treats your mom similar to the way he treats her. Not necessarily bad, but she's very subservient to him, serving him. My mom does the same thing to my dad.
But he doesn't tell her to.
No, but in that movie, he doesn't tell her to either.
Yeah, he does. He pushes her around.
No, he doesn't. He sits and reads his paper.
No, but he's kind of pushy. And
when did he push? You tell me when he pushed her around. I'm going to stand up.
I have to go watch it again, and I don't want to. I just don't think it's that funny. It's not funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I know you think it's. I don't get it.
Hilarious.
This is a woman. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
This is a grown woman that watches Bubblegum. You can't trust her opinion.
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
A Christmas Story Christmas. If you like the original movie, I think you will connect to this new one. And A Christmas Story 2 is also on HBO Max, where you can check this movie out. And I'm sure they'll release it to Blu-ray and DVD eventually. But right now, it's exclusively on HBO Max. Check it out. It will now be a double feature for me every holiday season. And I do have a rule in our house. I do not watch A Christmas Story until December. So the release of this movie has actually forced me to break my rule that has been this way for
forever.
20 years at least. I've never watched A Christmas Story outside of December.
Yeah.
But I had to watch it to watch this movie because, I guess I didn't have to because I know it inside and out, but it would have felt wrong, like a lie.
I think the other thing I don't like is that, see somebody else, worst Christmas movie ever seen.
Yeah, they probably like Mythical 34th Street and all that shit.
I don't like that. Well, that's okay. Yeah. It just gets old. I think the other thing I don't like is it's always on. Like nonstop.
Now I will give you that. I will say, one of our other friends talked about the other day. He hates it too because his brother or somebody would turn on it because I think it's TBS plays it 24/7, at Christmas.
sure
And it
as
didn't
heck
used to
do.
be like that. I used to turn it on and let it play sometimes just for background noise, but I don't do that anymore either. I think last year, I don't even think I watched it. I think it was the first year I missed it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I watched like 15 minutes, I think, or something. But I can understand that annoyance with
Yeah.
it.
I mean, there's someone else's like, it's all hype. When it first came out, no one was talking
That
about
is true.
it.
It was a bomb when
And
it came
now
out.
they're saying you must watch it. It's the Christmas classic. So
That is true. It was a bomb when it came out, but it is a classic.
I mean the other Christmas classics are going to be Miracle on 34th, which I'm actually okay with that. The other one I can't
White
stand.
Christmas.
White Christmas,
I
Bing
hate that.
Crosby's.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
because
hate
I
White
like the
Christmas.
singing.
I hate Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I don't
hate-
like the other one. With what's his name? That's the same guy in every movie. Has no depth. The guy from To Kill a Mockingbird.
I know what you're talking about.
What is that dang movie?
I almost called him Jimmy Swaggart.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy
It's,
Stewart. That
What
one.
the hell is that stupid movie?
I don't know. It's just not good.
Where's that one? Where's yelling?
Christmas movie. Hold on. It's coming up. Wonderful Life.
Yes, I hate that movie.
Horrible movie. It's basically Ebenezer Scrooge, but not good.
But I like Scrooge.
But not good.
Like, I actually like, you know, what my favorite Scrooge story is?
Mm.
Movie, show, whatever.
Mm.
It.
Scrooged.
No, I do love Scrooge. Scrooge is funny. No, mine is the Red Buttons Christmas Carol. The comedian guy that plays the what's he call himself? What do they call the homeless people back then? It's like a scamp or something like that. And yeah, I love that. Yeah, the tramp or whatever. It's a character he did. He did a Red Buttons Christmas Carol, I think it is, or Christmas special. Whatever. I love that movie, that show. And I went back to watch the other day. It's not that good, but it was so.
I mean, these are all the movies that are based on Christmas Carol. So I'd pick probably Ebenezer or something.
Well, now you have a Spirited. You can watch that
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
You watch Spirited now.
I love Spirited, you guys.
Muppet Christmas Carol was good.
Yeah. There's a Smurf Christmas Carol. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Spirited is probably my new holiday classic. I will watch that over and over.
Did you just say Smurfs?
Yeah, Smurf Christmas
Okay, I have
Carol.
to tell you, I don't know the name of the movie. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But a trailer that was played before we were mercilessly thrown out of the AMC theater with Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
You walked in on it when he's like, I need room for my husband.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed it, but that was played. It was about a gay couple or whatever. But anyway, there's this thing in the movie where apparently his character is a massive Smurfs fan and has this massive like Smurfs, like my Star Wars collection. Yeah, the guy sat on a Smurf and they sit in the room like I was cracking up, and then all the crap happened.
Awesome. Anyways, okay.
A Christmas Story Christmas is now available on HBO Max. You should check it out if you haven't already.
Now, continuing with our holiday theme, let's go here.
Good Lord, how much did we want?
We have a lot. We have a lot.
You want to save that one until
this one?
That one we can save that till later.
No, we're gonna. Well, we'll see
for December.
Okay. When does it come out, though?
Well, it's already just started.
All right. Well, let's go to the current holiday that we're in is Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week, my friends. And if you like the holidays and if you like horror films, this movie's for you. It's on Hulu and it's called The Pilgrim.
It's just called Pilgrim.
Oh, Pilgrim.
It's actually part of I
I
lost my mind trying to figure this movie out. Because I was looking it up, because when we started watching, I realized Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton were involved, who made the Feast movies, a bunch of the Saw movies. They made the Collector movies.
Love those.
Sadly, we're not getting the collection. I've told you about that, didn't I?
No.
They were making the third movie. Yeah. They got shut down during COVID. And then when they got back, somebody stole all the props and everything and stuff. And so now the funding, last I heard, the funding pretty much was gone. And they said that movie will probably never happen now. They were mid-filming it. Anyway, or it just started.
That's too bad.
Anyway, so when they were involved, I'm like, I have to see this movie. This movie is from like 2019.
Yeah, we're a little behind on the party.
And the reason I couldn't find anything about it is because it's part of a series, a Hulu TV series called Into the Dark. But it's not your normal. It's not a TV episode. It's a series. It's considered a TV series, but it's feature-length episodes.
Yeah, which is cool.
And they're all holiday themed. There's 2 seasons of them. There's Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween,
Arbor Day, Women's Day.
International Women's Day, Daughters Day.
So
Son's
there's
Day.
there's
so
like
we're
a
gonna be,
horror film for every holiday.
Yeah, so we're gonna be
excited.
zooming through those. It was like first day at school.
So
Yeah, so we're gonna be zooming through those. So yeah, that's what Pilgrim. And it's funny, Pilgrim has been saved on my Hulu list since 2019.
I didn't know that. I came across it popped up this week on Hulu.
Well, you don't remember,
page.
but it popped up and we both saw. We're like, Pilgrim, what is that? We're like, we're gonna have to watch that, and then we never watched it.
I'm so glad we did.
So now we dive into it. Tell us what Pilgrim is about.
So Pilgrim is the story of it's a family, and the wife finds this ad online or Facebook or Twitter or something about you can hire.
Always going wrong right there.
You can hire Pilgrim reenactors to come to your home. And your whole family comes together and they show you how to prepare a traditional holiday feast like the first Thanksgiving. Already, this is alarm. You said don't hire weird people online. Mine is like, if you tell me traditional first Thanksgiving, there was killings, I think. There was wiping out of indigenous people. So I know I'm probably being a little over dramatic. I don't think they killed them that first year because they needed to eat. But by the second year, they probably got rid of them.
I don't know. I'm the first one to tell everybody, thanks for killing the Indians Day and
baby, indigenous or Native
indigenous
Americans.
people. I'm sorry. Whatever
word
terminology we're using now. That's what I'm using.
Now it's not even Columbus Day anymore. It's Indigenous Peoples Day.
I know. I'm just saying. But
thank you.
To be honest, as for the people that are dealing with that, before we get into the movie,
yes, sir.
And the angers and I totally understand. Majority of it now isn't even celebrating anything. Christmas really isn't for most people. Thanksgiving isn't for most people. Halloween isn't for most people. They're basically just celebrating whatever the corporate shills have put on us now of turkeys, candies, presents.
Yeah.
I know I'm not talking about the religious people that are actually celebrating the birth of Christ.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
we do
the generic world that is celebrating any of these holidays. There's the majority of people that are having Thanksgiving have not once thought about the colonizations and Columbuses and the indigenous people. They think about what food are we having? What time do we need to be there to eat? That's all in football. That's all Thanksgiving is now. So,
because that even our child's like, well, what time are we eating? Because the game starts at this time.
Yeah, most people don't care. I don't think I've ever met a single person outside of the people standing up against the meaning behind the holidays.
Yeah,
like posting about it or outwardly saying stuff. I've never met somebody that came and I'm not having Thanksgiving with you or eating because this, or let's celebrate the people and this. You know what I mean? It's because that's not what the corporate world is anyway. And everybody just wants to be off. Okay, let's talk about Pilgrim.
Yeah, I need my Thursday.
Yeah, so my first issue with this movie, I actually really dug this movie. It's creepy fun. My first issue of this movie though is one of those that goes into my argument that you posted the other day about don't go in there and then I tell you, well, then every movie would be like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This movie should have been 3 minutes long because the moment these weird Pilgrim people came in and said they're going to stay at your house, I'd be like, nope, you're gone. Get out. Pilgrim time is over. We're moving on.
No, thank you.
So that's one of those things you have to kind of look past in a movie like this because there's so many moments of why would anybody agree to this?
Yeah. I mean, I could understand hiring some actors. Actually, I could understand it. Hiring some actors to come help you show how they made a traditional meal.
And then leaving.
Yes, but these people showed up and like, we're here to stay at your house.
They're like, oh yeah, I didn't take. But then even more so, they send one to someone else's house too, without them asking, and they said they're going to stay there. I'm like, I can't tell you probably how many times in that movie I said, I would have told that bitch no, or I would have punched that person in the face. That's how my comments in this movie were. Like she goes, oh, I'm sending one over to your house. So Carol too, and Carol's like, my house, and then was like, okay, and I'm like, no, Carol, you don't take strange pilgrims to your house. Anybody's wearing buckled shoes, I don't trust. First
of all, but this guy, the main Pilgrim guy, Ethan, so good. Yeah, he's really so good. Creepy, but nice creepy.
Yeah, because there's moments and he's terrifying. You're like, okay, there's something wrong, and then other times you realize, okay, maybe he's not the problem. Maybe they're trying to divert us. And
Peter
make us think.
Giles, thank you, sir.
Because there's moments that makes you think
everything's
what you think is happening is not actually happening.
Yeah, everything's fine.
It's not as crazy and creepy as you sound, and then other crazy things happen.
I was like,
there's some Blair Witch element kind of thing going down.
There's some weird things happening, but
What I like too by the end of this movie,
Yeah.
it explains nothing.
Yes.
I love that. It's just there's the ending. I mean, there's a definitive ending.
There's an ending,
but it explains nothing in relation to why these people are doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
It is what it is.
So the moral of this movie is: do not hire pilgrims off the internet.
Correct.
Get them off the corner like normal people do.
Well, and then because at one point one of the girls is like, I don't find anything about these people on the internet. Hello, get them out of your house. That instant.
That's my problem. That's like I said, I have to let that kind of thing go because I have that problem in a lot of the movies.
Well, this is what I'm telling you. When these people open doors and you see something creepy, that's when you should be running.
Dang white women.
Like grab your keys and your phone and you run.
I don't even let like members of my family that are slightly suspect stay in my house.
No.
Let alone a strange pilgrim.
Weird. Yeah, but yeah, don't trust anybody with pilgrim buckle shoes.
Yeah, I don't
That's
trust
the moral story.
Because who else was pilgrim buckle shoes? Witches. Wow. Tell me they don't.
The old school
Thank
witches
you very much.
Anyways, this was a really fun movie.
It's a blast.
It's a little bit bloody. It's not bad. It's not really scary. It's more kind of like eerie. It's not even creepy.
It's a lot of like, what the hell is going on in this
weird.
Movie. It's almost like watching an episode of like Creep Show.
Yeah.
Or Tales from the Dark Side.
Fine, and
Twilight
then suddenly twist, and you're it's like okay.
But with a little more of a budget, and then of course like it's an hour and a half long or
so it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I can see this being a Thanksgiving view.
We need to watch this when everybody comes over for Thanksgiving.
This movie would drive my mom nuts.
I know.
My dad probably wouldn't. Well, my dad white night now, but we can get him to watch it.
He's open now.
He's been watching a bunch of crazy stuff lately.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, check it out. It's on Hulu.
But you can find it searching for Pilgrim.
But also look at Into the Dark, and you'll see the whole series.
Yeah, it has it all broken down into different movies, which is cool.
All right, now to something completely different.
This next one is inspired by a true story based off a newspaper article. It's called Jerry and Marge Go Large.
Yeah.
Even though I keep wanting to say Jerry and Marge are in charge. But Marge is not in this movie.
Oh
the premise is about this man who's really good with numbers. Mm-hmm. He's forced into retirement, and he's trying to find himself, find what he wants to do. But he's also kind of borderline, would be autistic or on the spectrum maybe. That he doesn't, because he's so smart, he just doesn't connect.
Yeah,
we'll say he's on the spectrum a little bit.
He doesn't connect.
He doesn't connect with people because of his intellect, and so he sees everything in the numbers and this and that, and he can't always connect with people because of it. So he's trying to find his thing in the world, what to do with himself now that he doesn't have his job anymore of 40-something years, and he finds a loophole in the lottery, and then he starts playing the lottery. And before that, they weren't lottery people. He starts playing the lottery, and he starts winning percentages, and he starts realizing how to win almost every time.
Yeah.
Or at least a big chunk of time. Mm-hmm. And so that's where we're at. So then him and his wife kind of get together, and it's about these two people playing lottery. And craziness ensues of the world that they're in.
Yeah, and so, the based on the real story and in the story in the movie is the cool thing about this, there's two things that I found really attractive in this movie and like engaging. Is that because he is different and doesn't connect, his wife though is so understanding and even explains like to his own children, well, he sees things different, or he doesn't connect emotionally. He can't process he can't tell you the emotion, but it's there. And there's one, special kind of scene that goes through in some lines where he was emotionally connecting to his son by sorting nickels and looking for buffalo nickels. He thought that was how he expressed his son, how much he loved him and how he wanted to connect. But his son was like, you made me count nickels all summer. How was that fun? And he's like, but it was fun. We were together. But eventually he begins to understand. The second thing I found so just cool and about Jerry and Marge is that they didn't just keep the loophole to themselves. Yeah, they told the entire community. That's
what I thought was kind of refreshing about it. Anytime you deal with anything with the lottery, 90% of the time it's going to end up being a story about greed and crime and government involvement and all this kind of stuff, and that's not this story. The story very much feels like a Lifetime movie. It has a little bit better budget and obviously a way better cast with Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening and Rainn Wilson, and who kind of formed this fun triangle
Mm-hmm.
of people. It's really more Bryan Cranston for the most of the movie, and then Annette Bening, once she's in on it, it's about their relationship more so than the lottery and the rekindling things. And then Rainn Wilson is kind of the store owner, and he gets brought into it. He's kind of the comedy,
Comedy
thing, but he has his own story arc too. But I found it refreshing to see a movie that deals with the lottery. That's not about any of those negative things. It's
not about greed or any of it.
It's the lottery that the lottery journey and the thing they're doing and the craziness of it all is not only about trying to make things better for themselves, for other people, rebuilding the relationship,
and then their community too.
Yeah. Now there isn't a little element that's kind of thrown in that is the greed side of it.
Yeah, so
that I thought was going to be bigger, and it almost was kind of an afterthought. It's there, but it's not as impactful as I thought that might have been. It didn't need to be, but I was like, this is where I thought we were going to get some fun twists and those moments like, ha, those kind of things.
I think if it had been in today's world.
It was today's world.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it would have been more. I thought it could have been more hyper violent, but maybe because.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like when
it could have been scarier.
Well, I'm not even that. I'm just thinking. I was expecting like when this other thing starts happening, that not that side of I think of where you're thinking of. I was thinking of more about how they double cross each other and how they do this stuff, and those moments where you realize at the very end is like, oh yeah, well we did this. There's a moment of that at the very end, but it didn't feel as big of a.
It was a little Scooby-Doo-ish.
Yeah,
it just kind of wrapped itself up.
A lot of the movie plays it safe. It is kind of generic. It's not a blowing your doors off films or anything,
but it is intriguing.
But it's a fun film
to the point where I had a conversation with my dad today about, or maybe it was yesterday, about the lottery, and because we play. But I might play like $20-$30 on different things.
When do you play $20-$30 of our money on lottery?
It probably once a month I buy tickets. But what? So I buy. So there's a different lottery every day. Yeah. There's Mega, Powerball, Texas Two-Step. There's something every day. But where I actually won, I won like 19 cents, was because I went in on the pool of like 150 tickets. Yeah. So if you do that, that's I think the thing. But you have to spend big to win it back. Yeah. But I think if you go and buy $1 or $2, you might not. I mean, you might, but the odds are lower. Yeah. So this got me to thinking maybe I need to put like $100.
Well, it's also intriguing too. On the other side of it is this kind of a story you immediately assume. It made me think of that coupon movie, and how they had the guy who was obsessed. He found the coupon loophole, but his became a full-on investigation on the law. And in this case, you're dealing with the lottery, so the lottery's making money when people win, because when people are winning, they're buying more tickets.
They're buying all those tickets.
And so for the percentage they're paying out on this, they're making sometimes double of the money back. And so then it's raising this and this. There was no crimes committed in the movie at all. No. Well, there is one. Kinda. But what Marge and Larry or Jerry and Marge are doing, they're not committing any kind of crime. So there's no undertone of a criminal element. They're legitimately playing the lottery. And the lottery are like, okay, which made it this thing like, well, that's kind of underwhelming. I thought, they were going to be the lottery investigation. That's not even what the story is. No. So there's so much more to the story than the lottery. The lottery is just the catalyst of everything. Yeah. But I will say, like I mentioned a minute ago, it's kind of a generic film. It's not a big movie that you're going to be like, oh my God, I love this movie so much kind of thing. It's just like, I really enjoyed that. That was, it's heartwarming. It's funny sometimes. Some great performances. It's just.
That was really good.
It easily could have been a TV movie kind of thing with a better budget and bigger actors. Yeah. So
it's a really good movie, and it is on where?
It's available on Blu-ray and DVD now, and it originally debuted on Paramount Plus. So it's probably on Paramount Plus.
You can go check it out. Yeah. All right.
This is one of those ones I was going to watch a while back, and then we never did, and then they sent me the Blu-ray finally.
So we got it. All right. Next. This is the new movie with Kristen Bell. That's all that matters.
And Allison Janney.
And one of our favorite TV moms, Allison Janney. And then this guy who's super funny and cute and won a Broadway, whatever award it is or whatever.
Is that Tony?
Yeah, I think so. He's pretty cool. I don't know who the other girl is that plays this.
We've seen her and stuff before.
This is The People We Hate at the Wedding, which
it's Cynthia Adai Robinson.
Okay.
Yes, and it is a Prime Video movie. I kind of was expecting this. The basic premise of this family. It's a mom and 3 kids.
Those are the 3 kids.
One of the children is from a different relationship, who's from England or London or whatever. And there's the other 2, Kristen Bell and the young man. They were here, and they were the ones that were pretty much raised more around their mom. They're also struggling for ends meet, trying to do their day-to-day jobs and doing their thing. The other lady's stinky rich because her dad's filthy rich.
Yeah.
And so as they get older, they just kind of separate. And essentially, I guess you could call her the estranged sister, is getting married and has invited them all to the wedding. So they all travel to London, I guess, to go to the wedding.
To go to the wedding.
Even though they were all like, we don't want to go to this wedding. We don't have anything to do with her, but they go. And then, of course, madness ensues. It's one of those movies that you think it is, but it's
a little different, though.
It's a little different.
See, I thought it was going to be like super crazy comedy wedding drama. But
and that is there.
But the wedding's such a small part. It's all the stuff leading up to it.
Yes.
That it's a lot more emotional. Dealing with a lot more family and life issues than I thought. I thought it was just going to be crazy wedding, like Bridesmaids kind of type thing. And it's not that. It's different.
It has its moments.
Yeah,
but, it is. It's a family drama, if you will. Because but what I found that the reason I think it works is because even the mama is dealing with her own stuff, and it kind of deals with every facet of situation through each person.
Yes,
because you have the black daughter, or mixed race daughter, excuse me, who's wealthy and from another country. You got her thing. Everything's great in her world.
Supposedly.
In theory, yeah. You have the mom who just wants to connect with all her kids, and nobody really wants to seem to have anything to do with her, and she's kind of alone. Then you have the Kristen Bell's character she's trying to do her thing, but she's not in really good, healthy relationships and thing. And then you have the gay brother, and he's dealing with his own thing, and all of it kind of just opens up so many doors of what they can do with the stories. And they went there, and
and so I did like that it was a more emotionally driven, family focused type movie where we're dealing with everyone's issues, and I like that in not a forced way. There's equal representation of all things,
that's kind of
like race and sexual orientation and good and bad relationships.
And the issues they're showing us dealing with were not just the family issues. It was each individual's issues that all culminated into the family issues, where had they not had these family issues, a lot of these other things probably wouldn't have happened the way they did. And so you're getting to see everything unfold, and the people you think are the problems are not necessarily the people that are the problem. But you kind of hear, it's like if you hear somebody always say, this person did this I can't stand it, and you're like, fuck them. Then you hear the real story, you're like, wait a minute, you're the one that's the problem. It's not the person that you've been saying is the problem. And then some of it's just misunderstanding things and not understanding how other people feel. Yeah, just sometimes if you ask them, it's like every sitcom that's ever existed. If you just asked them what's going on, it would have saved 30 minutes of an episode.
That's what the whole point of the sitcom is.
I know.
The misunderstanding and misdirection.
I know.
It's fun. Anyways, I thought it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. And I always love Kristen Bell and Allison Janney. I will say I like this Ben Platt guy.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's super awkward.
He is.
He's an awkward everyday man.
Yes.
I mean, he's gay, but
and I like him in the acapella movies. I mean, because that's where I'm Pitch Perfect. I need to still watch Evan Hansen. I haven't, but I need to. That's it. He wrote it. That's like his.
I was going to tell you.
He wrote it and made it, I think. Hold on. But he got a Tony, an Emmy, and a Grammy. So you go, boy.
So, fun fact.
Yes.
People out there won't know, probably.
Let
me get it, find it. Anyway, you can keep talking while I'm pulling it up.
Okay. Anyways, I'm a fan. So, it's a good movie. You need to watch it, and it's available. So go for it. We got to keep moving.
Maybe it was the other one. Hold on.
Okay. Babe, I'm going to move on. You got nothing else?
No. Well,
I'm moving on. Going once. Going twice. What are you trying to find?
I'm trying to find something. I found out some information about something.
Oh.
I wanted to tell you.
This link is not working.
Is it this movie? I think it is this movie. You have nothing else to say about this movie?
No, I'm done with
wow,
this
that's
one now.
quick.
I liked it. It was good. That's all you
Ooh,
need to know.
Where the hell is it?
Oh, this thing is not working for me.
I'm trying to find this thing. It's very, very specific thing
About?
Is
it about this?
It's not something we watched. I want to say it was. I thought it was that movie.
Okay, well, this link's not working, so you're going to have to give me a link. I want to share a link, and I can't. It's not letting me.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to scroll down to the bottom of it.
I am.
All right. Well,
that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not working. It's not
it
letting
worked for
me do
me. See,
anything.
it's right there.
See, I don't get that.
It's because you can't go further down, or that, or come up into the post or something. Sometimes just wait for it to change. But I'll go back to the side of it. Click it. Not doing anything.
No.
Oh well, I don't have to tell you.
All right. Well, I need
it should
the
be
link.
connected to the one at the bottom.
That didn't work.
It didn't work either.
No.
What?
Your link is broken. Doesn't go anywhere.
What is happening?
I don't know what you did.
This is an outrage, I tell you.
All right. Well, moving on. We got one more movie, or one more thing, or we can save it for next time. You want to save it? Then you can just go.
It's up to you. If you want to talk about it, we can do a quick talk about it.
Very quickly. Go ahead.
So what do we got? What is it?
The Santa Claus's TV show, which is on
Disney Plus. So there's the trilogy of Tim Allen TV shows, movies, the Santa Claus 2, and Santa Claus 3, whatever. So this jumps way ahead. It's a TV series. They've dropped the first 2 episodes. I know there's already been controversy with them.
Has there?
Yeah,
Why?
because, well, see, and here's my issue is...
What's the controversy?
There's a controversy because of when they start talking about how you can't say Merry Christmas and you can't say this and that, but it's part of the story.
That's his story. He's Santa Claus.
He says something in the movie about, man, you can't even say Merry Christmas anymore, and it's talking about the climate of the world.
That's where we're at in this world.
There's a lot of people that have been coming out about, because Tim Allen's a very much
I know
Republican,
I know
that kind of thing, and so people are thinking that he purposely wrote that, trying to say there's a war on Christmas and this and that. And I didn't think that. I felt like the whole thing was about the climate of the world and how so much different it is. Like, can't have a naughty list anymore and all that stuff they talk about in the movie, because that's very much the world we live in.
It is the world.
If you tell somebody they're naughty or they're on the naughty list, oh my God, don't tell my child that. You'll offend them because they're not bad.
Yeah, it's participation trophy world, and I like this show, and I think it is true. You can't say Merry Christmas, but I still do because I believe in Christmas.
I disagree with that. I think
you can
say. I'm saying I think you can say Merry Christmas all day long.
But like in a wider business setting, we're not allowed to say it.
No, you can't. Business. Most people don't do that. But I think the issue comes from the people that make a big deal about it are just there to make a big deal about it.
Yeah, I mean,
most normal people, because when people are talking about the war on Christmas and this that's been going on, and oh my God, we can't even say Merry Christmas. We have to say happy. Everybody's been saying Happy Holidays since I was a child.
Yeah,
that was just a generic term you said because you're covering Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and so you just say Happy Holidays.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I'm not going to get offended if you tell me Happy Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever. I'll go with it, whatever. I mean, just like the guy in the drive-thru that's like, Allah bless you. I'm like, thank you, I'll take it.
Yeah,
and if someone says, okay, have a blessed day, I'll take it. I will gladly accept all your blessings. But I know people are easily offended, and I feel bad that the movie or the TV show is offending people.
It's stupid. It's like my problem with that is, like, I wouldn't even be bothered if somebody's offended if they don't take crap out of context.
I know.
That's the problem. And it's one of those things that is, if somebody says it, immediately nobody's going to watch it. They're all going to be.
Please watch it. It's a sweet little show. I really enjoy it. But I think the Santa Claus series of movies is one of my favorite series. So Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, The Escape Claus.
I mean, the third one's not very good.
Okay, but I still like these movies. And, I know maybe we're not in sync with Tim Allen's politics, but a lot of his jabs and things throughout the years on all of his TV shows have been funny to
Yeah,
me.
I'm still a fan of
So,
his. I still think he's
I'm
funny.
a fan. I love Santa Claus, and I believe in Santa. I believe in Christmas. I'm down. So if you like those series of movies, or if you're just looking for something fun to watch, all of the movies are on Disney, right?
Yes,
The three
on Disney
movies.
Plus.
The 3 movies are on Disney Plus. So watch those first because you do need to know the context, and then watch this new series, The Santa Clauses.
I did all that. I just now found the person I was looking for and everything I was trying to talk to you about.
Yes.
Nothing to do with the movie we were talking about today.
Well,
Something
there you
else
go.
I posted on our thing about the trailer. It is about a movie that you want to see.
Oh, okay.
It's that 80 for Brady movie.
Oh, I'm
The one with
so
Lily Tomlin,
excited.
But do you remember this
That's
movie?
going to be a controversy too because I think people still hate her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't
or-
tell you this.
Or Jane Fonda. Sorry.
I didn't tell you
People
this.
still
The other
don't
day.
like
Who was
Jane
I
Fonda.
talking to? One of my seniors. I made some statement about a movie like that, Grace and Frankie or some show, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't like Jane Fonda. She's a communist." And so I said, "No, she's not." But it was interesting because I said, "Well, if you listen to," so she did an interview recently and talked about that. If you listen in context, maybe she did something she shouldn't have done at the time she did it, but she wasn't wrong, depending on your perspective.
Yeah.
And they kept coming back at me like, "Well, we were there during the time, and those boys." I said, "I'm not saying you're wrong from the time she did it, but you have to look at what she's doing and why she was doing it. It was for them.
Yeah.
It just may not have been handled the right way." I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm just saying, after hearing a new interview with her and making more understanding, but most people hold on to those single things.
Yeah.
The Hanaway Jane thing.
But I think now, after the troops have just been pulled out of where we were at Afghanistan for the last 20, 30 years, whatever, I think we can all agree that we sometimes get involved in stuff we shouldn't.
We're always involved in crap we shouldn't be involved in.
And I think Vietnam was one of those things.
Well, I agree. I can see.
And I think everyone's right to protest needs to be protected, and they protest the war then, they protested the war now. I mean, that's what it is. Now, did she go a little crazy when doing what she did? Yeah, possibly.
Well, I don't think her issues were that what she did was wrong. I think how she handled it. At the time, you can't do that during that time, which is what was wrong.
When they were there.
Then it just makes it look like you're going against America. And
correct.
That wasn't the intent, but
then again, like,
perspective too.
I talked to my uncle this last weekend, my oldest uncle that I have now. And he's like, I don't even know why I was in Vietnam. I mean, that's the sad thing. He's like, and I didn't want to go. I was drafted, so him and my other uncle were there. He's like, and what for? He goes, I came back with Agent Orange. So, because they got sprayed with Agent Orange. So he's like, so through the years, he's had all sorts of intestinal issues, kidney. I mean, he's like had one thing after another. And that's why he was here, because he needed to go to the VA. And then he was going to stay for Thanksgiving.
I like how my single comment about a movie started into this entire conversation.
Well, no, because I think it's
you're not wrong.
It's relevant. I mean, I think it's one thing if you sign up and you're like, I'm going to go serve my country. But
when you're forced
into it, and you look back all these years and like, I don't even know why I was there, just to come get sick and have all the. I mean,
I also think there's an interesting dynamic, of like the troops that. They came home and people were spitting on them. So I don't think that's right.
Bizarre.
I think that's horribly wrong. But I also understand the mentality of people turning on someone that protests, whether you agree with them or not.
No.
You can go all the way back to the more recent with the Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling, and he was protesting for his situation. Probably even more famous is the Drusilla sit down at a celebration. Sit down protest over an autograph line. But my problem with all these is I may not agree with your stance. I may not agree with your protest, but all these people fought and died for the freedom for you to do that.
And a soldier will tell you he fights for your right to do that.
Yeah, and people shouldn't be like, you're un-American. No, you're being American because you have the right to protest.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with anything.
Yeah.
Nobody has to agree with anything anybody says or does in this world. You don't have to agree with gay people. You don't have to agree with straight people. You don't have to agree with Christianity or Muslims or anything else.
What are you now? You're a poly cis gender. I don't know what you're.
No, I don't know.
Cisgender, whatever.
I don't know. I'm Bobby, is what I am.
I don't
And
know. Anyways, whether you were drafted, whether you volunteered,
my whole circle to
thank
this.
you so
remember
much.
the movie The Climb about the two guys riding the bicycle? That kind of funny comedy.
Yes, where they're fighting each other. 'Cause
Yes.
the one guy
This
stole
all
the other
circles
guy's
back
wife.
to the guy that's the star of that movie, directed the 80 for Brady movie.
Oh,
That's all this was
he's
about.
Fun.
That's all I was trying to tell you.
Well, and watch The Climb. It's a really
It's a great
good,
movie.
fun movie.
All right, so before we wrap it
Sorry,
up,
we went
she did want to tell
we-
everybody her favorite Thanksgiving movie or a favorite
Yes,
Thanksgiving movie before we wrap
Thanksgiving
it up.
movies.
We'll be going for a little while.
My
today.
favorite Thanksgiving movie is the classic.
Is it your actual favorite or just the one you enjoy?
This is my favorite movie, and I would watch this anytime. This is Son-in-Law, starring Pauly Shore and Bobby's
This is the movie I fell in love
crush
with her.
with Carla Gugino.
Where I fell in love with her.
Yes,
And I
and when
love her
was
to
this
this day.
movie made? Oh my
In the 90s,
gosh,
wasn't it?
this was yeah.
It's right
But
there at the bottom.
there was the height of I can't see that small print. The height of Pauly Shoreness.
The Pauly Shoreness.
I don't know. I like this movie. I think it kind of cute. 1993.
Okay, it's not
It
right
kind
there.
of still works.
Usually right there.
I know it usually is there, and it kind of still works. It's
It's
a
still
little
funny.
bit dated, but it's hilarious. And I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving.
I'm not. This one, I don't really have a favorite Thanksgiving movie, and there's not that many of them. But this one, I'm going to promote this one because it comes out this week. So
Oh.
why not promote it? It's probably the quintessential Thanksgiving movie to most people.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a comedy, it's for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring the always great Steve Martin and the late great genius John Candy. They just released, or going to be releasing this 4K edition.
That's cool.
This is, I think, like the third release in the last few years because they put a Blu-ray one, then they put an anniversary steelbook edition, and now we got the 4K edition. But this new 4K edition has a whole bunch of new stuff they found. It says it's got new, never before seen, deleted, and extended scenes that they found, I guess, and they've only been on this one. So it's not just the legacy content that's been with everything else. It does, in fact, have some new stuff that's just been there. So Planes, Trains, and Automobiles will be available this week.
Okay.
And it's a fun Thanksgiving movie. And I want to have a debate one of these days about what people constitute a holiday film.
Yes.
My thought process is the holiday has to play up to the story.
It's in the story.
It can't just take place on Arbor Day, and then it's an Arbor Day movie. It's got to be like this, and they're trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
Correct.
You know,
This one, she brings him home for Thanksgiving.
Yes, and it's again, and the same thing with even the Die Hard Lethal Weapon thing. They take place during Christmas, but there's holiday moments that kind of play it into it, and I can kind of see the Christmas aspect of that. So that's an interesting. I want you, if you think about it, I want you to comment on this, whether it's on the Facebook Live or on the YouTube channel. I want your comment. Tell us, what do you think makes a movie a holiday movie?
Yeah.
All right.
Like
Right.
this child.
Oh, dear. Sorry. Is that what she's doing tonight?
Yeah. She's
right.
eating frosting.
Moving on. Okay. So I got to tell you what's coming out. Or is it contest first?
Tell me what's coming out first.
All right. So I didn't expect a big release of stuff this week because it's Thanksgiving week. And they usually slow down stuff, but surprisingly, there's more coming out than I expected. Peacemaker, the complete first season is coming out. Show is hilarious. If you haven't watched it, I know you gave up on after the first episode, but you truly missed out.
Okay.
Something called The Hatching. I don't know what it is. Of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles on 4K that I just told you about. Ip Man is getting the 4K treatment.
Nice.
The movie The Company of Wolves that we'll probably talk about next week. That's an older release from, I believe, from Shout Factory.
Shout.
Got the 4K treatment. This believes has Angela Lansbury in it.
Nice. It's nice.
Why are you laughing?
I love Angela Lansbury.
Pretty much the rest of the stuff is re-release older movies. Mystery Man, Roller Bars, Shrek 2, WALL-E.
Wow.
Malcolm X, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. All right. So coming out this week online or at the theater, there's a lot happening. So coming out on Tuesday is the new movie Strange World. This is the animated feature from Disney Pixar. It is coming to the theaters. This is the one where the family goes and they end up in the strange planet of curious things.
It looks really intriguing.
I like the graphics and the design on this.
It looks like it's going to be a visual treat for the senses.
Yes. Coming out on Video Demand and Digital. Also on Tuesday, a movie called Poker Face.
My poker face, my poker face.
It's about a group of friends who grew up playing poker together. And then one of them then becomes a tech billionaire. And he finds out there's been a scheme all these years where his friends have been betraying him.
So it's not actually anybody gets a poker face?
No, but it's Russell Crowe, Liam Hemsworth, Elsa Pataki.
Where is it coming out?
It's just on the line.
On the line.
Also on the line, this one looks interesting. It's a movie called Nocebo. And it is about a lady, Eva Green, the lady with the big smile.
Yes. I know
who falls ill with a mysterious illness, and the doctors can't find anything else they can do for her. So she basically has the nocebo effect, which is the opposite of placebo. I thought it was the placebo effect. Well, this is the opposite of placebo. I looked at that scientific term, nocebo.
Okay.
It's not whatever you do, they get sicker.
I got you.
So suddenly, a Filipino healer shows up at her house and begins to do all of these ancient traditional recipes and healing rituals, and it says to surprising results. We're gonna see what happens.
Always surprising results.
Coming out on Shudder. A movie called Blood Relatives. It's about a vampire guy who's been living around for like 100+ years, and suddenly a young lady knocks on his door saying she's his daughter. So don't know.
Always get you.
Coming out on Wednesday, a movie in theaters called Devotion. It's the true story of U.S. Navy fighter pilots.
Well, that's one with the guy from
Jesse Brown and Tom Hutter. And then also in theaters, a movie called Bones and All.
That movie actually looks really cool.
Yeah,
I kept avoiding it because it's Timothy Chalamet, which I like him, but I'm like, the poster stuff didn't really look overly appealing, but once I saw the trailer, it looks creepy and disturbed.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're cannibals or they're
just. It says they're kind of living on the fringe of society because the girl's kind of like a weird introvert person.
That's what I'm saying. Is that description does not explain.
Okay, and Timothy Chalamet is like a weird drifter.
That doesn't explain. That's what I'm saying. I read that,
but they fall in love.
So but it seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
But in the trailer, she's hanging out with her little girlfriends. They're having a party painting nails. She suddenly bites this girl's finger. And they're like, I knew you were going to do it. You couldn't control it. Now she's on the run. And for these other hillbilly people, they're like, you're an eater too. And so now they're like biting people, eating crap.
Okay,
so it's a whole different movie.
Glad, because it says Bones and All.
Yeah, it's a whole different movie than what I thought it was when I saw the trailer.
Then coming out also on Wednesday in theaters, The Fabelmans, which we'll be talking about next week. We're going to see. This is a coming-of-age movie loosely based on the life of Steven Spielberg.
Yes, it's got a great cast except for one person you don't like.
Oh gosh, I know. Which I'm going to have. That's limited here.
It's later this week because it is open in a lot of the bigger theaters.
Hold on. I'll get there.
Was that Lady Chatterley's Lover?
Yes.
Is that a remake?
I don't know.
Crazy.
Coming to Netflix on Wednesday, a movie called Christmas on Mistletoe Farms. We're going to start getting all these Hallmark type movies.
Oh my God. I got an email from Warner Brothers the other day for like 3 different Christmas movies they have coming out.
I'll try to watch some.
I quickly deleted it.
Coming to Prime Video, we talked about this movie maybe 2 weeks ago. It's called Goodnight Opie. It's about the rovers that were sent to Mars, Opportunity, and the other one. Yeah. But they lasted way longer than they were supposed to. And it's actually a pretty emotional journey about these robots, but you get emotionally invested. Also coming out Netflix on Wednesday is a movie called The Swimmers. It's the story of Syrian swimmer Yusra Mardini and her dream to make it to the Olympics. So there you go. Coming out on Thursday, HBO Max, A Christmas Mystery.
This is all the ones I believe that.
Okay. This one actually looks interesting. So supposedly this little town has a piece of Santa's bells, and the town since then has just had a peaceful, prosperous life. But suddenly the bells go missing, so the town is in danger. Also coming to HBO Max, Holiday Harmony. It's about a singer-songwriter that goes out in the middle to go riding and falls in love with some guy, of course. Also coming out on Netflix on Wednesday is a movie called The Noel Diary. I'm going to watch it just because it has Jason Hartley, and I think it's kind of cute. So there you go. Mysterious woman comes to town. I'm going to assume they fall in love. Coming out on Friday. Finally got to Friday's movies. Movie on Paramount Plus called Fantasy Football. A 15-year-old girl discovers she can control her professional football player's
It's like controlling like
dad
real people.
on the field
Yeah.
as if she was playing a video game.
Yes, it looks
So, what is this movie that says it's an Oscar run? It's only coming out for Oscar contention,
Probably.
I guess.
As long as they get them in before the end of the year, then.
Well, it's Anthony Hopkins and Laura Dern.
Yeah, I know about
It's called The Son. It's about Peter and his partner Emma, who are dealing with their troubled teenage
he
son,
was already in the movie
Nicholas,
The Father.
which
Now
is
he's
a
in The
great
Son.
movie.
Next movie, The Holy Ghost.
Okay, coming out to Disney Plus, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
And that features the brand new person, a new actor to the business named Kevin Bacon.
Oh, nice.
Have you not seen the trailer?
Yes.
Where it says, and introducing Kevin
Yes,
Bacon.
it's where they go to Earth to find, we're looking for the Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, they're trying to make Christmas for Star-Lord.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
Coming to Netflix, The Last Dolphin King. It's about this man named Jose Luis Barbero, who is the world's most famous dolphin trainer in his 30-year career. So that looks interesting. Let's see what else is coming out.
That's
I think Saturday, a Fathom event, a Puss in Boots Last
that's not
Wish.
the actual release. That's just us.
Well, it's a Fathom event.
I know. That's just
So
on
if you
one
wanna
day
go.
only before they officially release it.
Okay, that's all I got. This is next week, the week after.
All right, well, you passed one up there already.
Oh, which one?
The one I told you said, hold on, I'll get back to it.
Okay,
Back
is
up at the top.
it for real coming out?
Yes.
Okay, let's go there. Goodness. Which one? This?
Yeah.
Okay, when does this come out? Next.
Well, it's
it
going
comes out
on, it's going to Netflix after this release. So this is your only chance to see the theaters. Then it's Netflix.
Okay, I believe it comes out this weekend. Yeah, at the theaters.
Whatever date it is, right there is what it says.
It says limited though.
I know
Wednesday
because it's a limited release. It's not a wide release because it's a next week film.
Okay, fine. Coming out this week for Thanksgiving. I'm excited for this. It is Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
Yes.
So hopefully you saw Knives Out last year or whenever.
It's a new film with Daniel Craig's character basically solving a new thing with a new series of actors.
There you go.
And Ryan Johnson. And apparently they're planning to try to do as many of those that people will watch. So with the
I
same
would,
character.
because he's a mystery solver. All right. Over to you, my friend.
Huh?
Over to you.
All right. So we got a few things to give away as usual. We have the movie Alienoid, which kind of annoyed me. No, it's we have copies of that, as well as the movie we talked about today, 3,000 Years of Longing. We also still have a couple copies of DC Super Pet, League of Super Pets, and Easter Sunday, as well as Casablanca and The Witch 2.
The other one.
Not to be confused with The Witch 3, all of them. I made that up. So anyway, that's what we have on there. Go to our website. Please follow the rules of the contest. They're not hard. It's a question. It's usually an opinion question about your favorite something, but email it to me. I get people that comment on it. I get people to send me a private message, which I don't mind it. If I can remember, I'll do it, but your entry may get lost in the shuffle because I may not remember when I go to pull it. So make sure you email it. And it says on there, email is on the front of the page.
Yes.
Just follow the instructions, just like you're in school.
All right. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony Live. It has been lately. Check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. Don't forget to click the contest button. And thank you for watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We will see you next week.
Next Sunday. Peace and love. Have a happy Thanksgiving or whatever.